Alright, what's up, you guys? Welcome to another sharkstalgia episode where I talk about all things 80s and 90s in the form of modern era comebacks. Lo and behold, today is Shark's birthday, January 18th. And what better way than to celebrate my birthday and the channel calling Sharkstalgia with none other than the well known 90s property Street Sharks. Now, for those who don't know, Street Sharks was basically I guess you can say, a knockoff version of Ninja Turtles, but Street Sharks has always held a very special place in my heart, and it's become one of my all-time favorite shows. And for those who get why it's a good show, then that's great. For those who hated the show or don't like the show, then I totally understand where you're coming from. However, the reason why this is such big and exciting news is that it appears that there's going to be a brand new revival of Street Sharks. Now, before I dive into that, to just go as a quick little backstory, for those who don't know what Street Sharks is or what was the basic storyline for Street Sharks, basically it involves the four Bolton brothers who are genetically modified into these sharks, and there's a storyline involving their father, Dr. Bolton, and he had a partner named Dr. Paradigm. Now, Dr. Paradigm ended up betraying Dr. Bolton, and then he, oh yeah, so there's a term called gene slammed. He gene slammed Dr. Bolton into becoming this hideous monster because he was using his means of success or means for his projects or even scientific experiments for evil, whereas Dr. Bolton was doing it for good. And that's just the basic version of the story. And so when Dr. Bolton escaped the lab, which at the time of making this video in the cartoon, we really had no idea what Dr. Bolton looked like after he was gene slammed. So that became a big mystery within the entire series. So when Dr. Bolton basically escaped the scenario or the lab, Dr. Paradigm ended up going to the four Bolton brothers, and he also kidnapped them and then try to gene slam them by utilizing sharks. We have a tiger shark, a great white, a whale shark, and then we have a hammerhead shark. And then when the experiment went quote unquote wrong, he thought that the Bolton brothers were dead, so he kind of left them out in the sewers. Lo and behold, the Bolton brothers were alive. They were kind of wondering what the hell happened, where the hell is their father. And so the whole entire series showcases them trying to locate their father, also realizing that they have these well, I don't want to say superpowers, but they have these genetically enhanced features that as they basically turn into sharks. However, they don't turn back into humans. So within this particular aspect, the entire series shows them stopping Dr. Paradigm, who also gene slams accidentally himself and calls himself Dr. Paranoid. So within that, I know it's getting a little complicated, but hear me out. So within that, the four brothers tried to stop him because Dr. Paradigm or Paranoid tries to, you know, he tries to, what's the word I'm looking for? Sabotage or tries to take over Fishin City, which is where they live, and then the Bolton brothers are trying to stop them, as well as trying to search for their missing father. So that's basically as basic as I can write it. But within the whole series, you get across new allies and like other shark-related characters, even whales like Moby Lick, and then rocks, and et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, so the show took a lot of jabs at Ninja Turtles, and they were supposed to be like these four brothers were basically adventurous. They were all about doing extreme stunts. So we had one who's riding a motorcycle, one is really smart, one's into rollerblading, and one's a football player. So with that being said, after all these years, and this is a TV show where I collected all the action figures. After all these freaking years, it appears, and I hope this is not fake. I hope this is actually real, but it appears that there's so many other articles or news reports about this. So if it turns out to be fake, I will definitely I'll probably delete this video or whatever. But at the time of making this video, it says here that Street Sharks, well, the new show is called Street Sharks Blood Runs the Streets. It's the title of the new project bringing back the classic 90s crime fighting half man, half shark heroes. It also says the Street Sharks set to appear on Netflix. So I guess the original animated series is also on Netflix. I don't know. I tried Googling it, but I guess it's there. I haven't really looked myself, but if it's there, freaking awesome. I know it's on Tubi right now, but you can also, I guess it's on Netflix. I don't know, but I'll check it after the stream. Then it says it continues their battle against mutants in Fission City, much like the original Deke Entertainment animated series did against the villainous Dr. Paradigm. So it's continuing the story. That is freaking insane because even if you guys have seen the show, if you've seen it fully through, you would know that this show kind of doesn't really have a proper ending because they were so close to finding their father. You see silhouettes of their father who's like this mutated monster, but we still don't know what he looks like, which kind of gives it like an emotional feel to it. However, by the time we get towards the end of the series, the show kind of takes a weird shift by introducing us to the spin-off series Extreme Dinosaurs. Dr. Paradigm turns into this weird ass lizard and blah blah blah. It gets a little complicated. But anyways, so as I searched deep into the web to figure out what the hell is happening within this show, I typed, tried to figure out, is there going to be a Street Sharks Blood Runs the Streets show? And according to January 18th, as of making this video, it says, yes, there is a new Street Sharks project in the works for Netflix titled Street Sharks Blood Runs the Streets. It's a revival of the classic 90s cartoon aiming to bring back the half man, half shark heroes with updated visuals and tones for a new generation while keeping the core appeal of the essence of the original show. So it says the goal here is that the Street Sharks concept for today's audience while retaining nostalgia. The new project is set to update the adventures of the Bolton brothers as they fight crime in Fission City, continuing their battles against mutants and Dr. Paradigm. According to this link by another team or Instagram account called the 90s Guys. So again, if this happens to be fake, we'll see. I'll put the link in the description below who wants to read the 90s Guys on Instagram. So the link will be in the description below. But so let me read what this says here on their account. The cult favorite animated series Street Sharks is officially returning with a new project titled Blood Runs the Streets heading to Netflix. The revival signals a bold reintroduction of the franchise for both longtime fans and new audiences. It says originally debuting in the 1990s, Street Sharks stood out for its extreme style, muscular heroes, and over-the-top action. The upcoming version is expected to modernize the tone and visuals while keeping the core appeal that made the series a cult hit. Quote-unquote cult hit. It says Netflix's involvement continues its trends of reviving nostalgic properties with updated storytelling. If handled right, the return could transform Street Sharks from a retro curiosity into a full-scale franchise revival. For those who have seen the recent Mattel action figures, they did a 30th anniversary of reviving Street Sharks with their action figure line, waves 1 and 2 of all 4 Bolton brothers, as well as some villains, but we haven't heard the light of day for waves 3. However, this is going to be a complete shock if it's completely true and if this is something that's going to happen. But I will try to remain optimistic and be extremely happy because Street Sharks, like I said, has always been one of my all-time favorite shows. So, with that being said, I don't want to get too carried away here because I want to wait until any more further announcements or official reveals or announcements or whatever. But till then, I'm excited. If you guys are into the Street Sharks and you guys support the channel, and if you like what I do here in terms of rambling on about the series and do reviews, I will definitely be reviewing this show, whatever it is. I will definitely be talking about it and giving my senses as I've talked about other 90s and 80s properties here on the channel. So with that being said, let's see what happens. This is definitely a very, very awesome birthday present to me. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to give a like and subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel, and let me know down in the comments below what you think about Street Sharks and if this is a great idea, because there's a lot to talk about the animation style? Are they going to screw up the designs? Are they going to make it are they going to change certain character traits in terms of character designs, or should I say um, beliefs, or just the way the modern world works, if you know where I'm going with this. So let's see what happens. Hopefully they stick to its original roots, because I will be completely hurt if they don't, but let's see what happens. So with that being said, the Jossum era officially starts in 2026.